Rugged coastlines, industrial cities, rural landscapes and historic castles, Ulster has a wealth of places to see and explore. For centuries, the coming and going of folk between Ulster and Scotland has left its mark on the landscape and people. I'm Jane Rea, and in this short series I'll be visiting some of the most stunning visitor attractions we have to offer, which are steeped in Ulster-Scots history. I'm visiting County Fermanagh, an area which was a magnet for Scots migrating to Ulster during the 17th century plantation. Fermanagh is famous for its lakes and the many castles which can be found along the shores. Today I'm exploring two of them, Tully and Monet. But first I'm making a stop in Enniskillen, the county's main town. Enniskillen, Fermanagh's largest town, sits at the heart of the county. Straddling the River Erne, it winds its way northwards from Upper Lough Erne to Lower Lough Erne. The town centre is dominated by the walls and battlements of Enniskillen Castle, the town's oldest building at over 600 years old, and with its own place in the 17th century plantation story. Strategically, it was a very important site as it guarded one of the few passes into Ulster. Almost a third of Fermanagh is covered in lakes and waterways, making it a paradise for boating enthusiasts and the wildlife for whom this beautiful county is home. To really appreciate Fermanagh, a boat trip is a must, and you've two lochs to choose from, Lower and Upper Lough Erne. I've boarded a water taxi with historian Catherine Scott to learn more about the county and its Ulster-Scots connections. So what makes Fermanagh stand out on the map?
What makes Fermanagh stand out on the map? Fermanagh, to me, and so many of the individual places in County Fermanagh, some of which you may have been to, some of which you may go to, are magical. And you could go to any number of ecclesiastical settlements, castles, grand houses, whatever they might be, and explore them if that's your thing. Equally, if you want to come to Fermanagh, hire a boat, and a speedboat nicely comes into view. If you want to do that, that's here as well. So it provides a great variety of opportunities for people who maybe just want to come away and relax. There are beautiful hotels, and it's important to mention people. People in Fermanagh are exceptionally friendly and exceptionally welcoming and love to see visitors coming in and enjoying their county and, are very hospitable.
Between 1610 and 1630, the early years of the plantation of Ulster, about 140 Scottish families made the journey across the Irish Sea to settle in Fermanagh. They had names like Armstrong, Elliot and Johnson, which you'd still hear in Fermanagh today. And where were those Scots coming from? Who were those people that were coming over?
So you have a tradition here where, the thing, one word I hate people using in history is watershed. Like all of a sudden this started to happen. Yes. And there had been a tradition of families coming to Fermanagh long before the plantation of Ulster. When you think of the Ulster Reivers who were coming over here, and those names, those Cathcarts, those Elliots, those Armstrongs, those names that are still prolific in County Fermanagh, and were coming here. And then I think, you were asking why planters come here. If there's already a connection to a place and the geographical proximity, nature has left us in such a way that, if you think of the makeup of the British Isles, we're just beside each other. We were once all one, So it was a very natural progression, a very natural and easy journey to make. And once somebody has made it, then, others will follow.
So Why are there so many plantation castles in Fermanagh?
Well, I think travelling along the water in essence maybe explains why there are so many, and also the ease really that people find, particularly travelling from Scotland, would have found travelling over here to County Fermanagh. I'm biased. I will say they all came to Fermanagh because Fermanagh is beautiful, you know, and I often, if I'm taking, you know, tours or school children, will say if you stop when you're driving down to Tully, you know, just sort of at the top of the hill there, and you look at that landscape, there is an unrivaled beauty, you know, looking out just over the lough. And if somebody had said to you at the beginning of the 1600s, you know, would you like a stretch of 1,000 acres in County Fermanagh? Yes, thank you very much.
Why not?
Why not?
I'm heading now to Tully Castle, which is situated near the village of Blaney on the southern shore of Lough Erne. Tully Castle sits in a beautiful spot overlooking Lower Lough Erne and was built by Sir John Hume around 1613. What makes this castle interesting is that while in style it's very much Scottish, from the stone masonry you can discern the work of Irish hands. It seems Hume didn't have Scottish stonemasons available, so employed Irish craftsmen instead. Tully has a tragic episode in its history. During the 1641 rebellion, Tully Castle was attacked by Rory Maguire, who was trying to reclaim his family's land. Those defending the castle surrendered on Christmas Eve on the condition of safe conduct for the Hume family and local Protestant settlers who were taking refuge in the castle. The Maguires imprisoned everyone in the castle vaults, and then on Christmas Day they massacred all the men, women and children, sparing only the Hume family. Then they pillaged and burnt the castle, after which it was never rebuilt. As well as exploring the remains of this impressive castle, I recommend taking a walk around its gardens and the surrounding woodland area where you can enjoy views of the lough. Travel northwest out of Enniskillen, you come to Fermanagh Castle, and it lies just east of a village by the same name. Completed in 1619, it's generally regarded as one of the finest examples of a plantation castle. Fermanagh Castle is characteristically Scottish in style. Today the outer shell is reasonably intact, and the most striking feature is a pair of tall circular towers protecting the entrance. Fermanagh Castle was attacked during the same rebellion in 1641, which destroyed Tully. While Fermanagh survived the attack, it was eventually gutted by a fire in 1750. Its ruins continue to be a spectacular sight in this wild landscape and are well worth visiting.
I mean, this really is the last wave of castle buildings in the British Isles. You know, when you think about it here in Ulster, and Fermanagh is probably the best of all those threads brought together in one sort of beautiful quilt, if you like, where you have the stonemasons who are Irish, the influence then, you know, of the Hamiltons, and again, Tully, all of these plantation castles that we're talking about today, they're all by the water's side. They're all really tangible, beautiful reminders of the legacy of Scottish settlers here in County Fermanagh, and it allows us, if nothing else, a way in to tell their story.
There's much to explore in the picturesque county of Fermanagh, with plenty to occupy wildlife and boating enthusiasts. And for the budding historian, Fermanagh's castles with their dramatic Ulster-Scots storylines won't disappoint. Come and see for yourself.